All right. Appreciate you being here, and really excited. Uh, Coach Allen could not be here, but we have great excitement in the football program right now with the two new additions in our coaching staff. The first one that I'll introduce is Coach Sheridan to my left. Nick was a player at Michigan his freshman and sophomore year during my last 2 years at Michigan. So he was under our system as a player in our quarterback system there. And then these last 2 years, Nick was our graduate assistant at Tennessee. And I had the title of coordinator and quarterbacks. But what I did those 2 years, I really worked with the front, the offensive line, the tight ends, that group up there. And Nick took over the quarterbacks. He had them in meetings. He had them in game preparation. He had them in practice. And then, he was there with me when I was calling the game on game day in a very critical role. So he actually was the quarterback at Tennessee these last 2 years. And when Tom and I first talked about me coming here, Nick was one of the first guys I talked to him about and all the things that he would bring. And so I'm really excited to have him here, and I'm excited that we've worked together in the past and what he did for Josh Dobbs at Tennessee. And then Darren Hiller will be our offensive line coach and our run game coordinator. I did not know Darren, but I knew of his coaching background. I knew of his reputation. And when this opening came about, Tom came to me right away and said, "This is a guy that I want, and I want you to do your research, but I want you to really look hard at him." And so I went back and I actually studied film of South Florida. And when you talk about South Florida last year, you're talking about a team that was in the top 5 in scoring and the top 5 in rushing. Now, if that doesn't make a coordinator happy, I don't know what will. So I was excited to watch his guys play, to watch the technique, watch the attitude, the leverage. They were an up-tempo team like we will be. And so then I called him after watching film, and we talked, and I could just tell that this was the kind of guy that, would fit great into our offensive staff room as well as our entire coaching staff. So we've already been meeting. We've been putting our offense together. We've been working hard, and I can tell you this, that I've been around a lot of great coaching staffs in my career, and this is a great one. And I'm not going to say the best or anything like that, but I'm just going to tell you it's one of the best I've ever been around because of the quality of people and also the quality of coaching that we're going to get. So I'll let Nick start off and give his talk.
Thanks, Coach. Certainly very excited and appreciative to have this opportunity. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tom and Coach DeBoard, and when this opportunity presented itself, I sprinted to Bloomington. So, to get an opportunity to work with this staff of men from the top down is really, really exciting. And I couldn't be more excited about it and humbled and honored to have this opportunity. My wife, Sarah, and I are super excited to be a part of this community here in Bloomington and to continue to mentor and develop the quarterback position here at this institution is, like I said, very exciting for me and my wife and just excited. So that's really the word, just excited to be here. So.
Hi, I'm Darren Hiller, and same, to echo Nick's comments, I'm very excited to be in Bloomington and to be around the staff and have the opportunity to work for Coach Allen. Coach Allen and I have been friends for a long time, and when he called me to talk to me about coming to Bloomington, it didn't take a whole lot of convincing. Had the opportunity to speak to Coach DeBoard on the phone, and we had a great talk, and then I called some people in the business that I trust and rely on, and had some conversations, and it was a no-brainer, and I'm just excited to be here. Can't wait to get my family. My wife and 3 children moved here right after spring break mid-March, and hit the ground running and get this thing rocking and rolling.
All right, we'll open it up for questions, guys. Why don't you say your name and your affiliation for these guys up front?
Nick, I guess first, Pete DePremio, Fort Wayne News Sentinel. Just in terms of what you look at in the quarterback, what are the keys from your standpoint?
Yeah, I think that's the one great thing with Coach Allen, just his vision for the position. His vision and mine really align. And the first thing is we're looking for a winner. I think we're trying to just accumulate players that have a winning mentality and are accustomed to winning. The second part from the quarterback position is just accuracy, the ability to place the football where you want it to be. And then the last piece is just escapability. I think when you go across the National Football League and across college football, the sizes and shapes of quarterbacks and the skill sets are different. But when you really put those three things together, winning, accuracy, and escapability, I think you can put a really quality product on the field. So when we're evaluating and when we're developing quarterbacks, those are the things that we try to focus on.
Hey, Darren. Mike Miller with the Bloomington Herald Times. Being close by to Cincinnati for a few years, did you have any prior relationships with some of the guys on the team currently? Did you recruit anybody or know anybody?
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually funny. I've met several of the offensive linemen, not quite all of them yet, but as a lot of them have come up, I seen their face and they saw my face and we smiled and talked about. But yeah, there's several guys on the roster right now that I have relationships with, some more than others. But I went through the list of the offensive linemen that are here, and there's 8 of them out of the 14 I think that are here right now that I have some sort of previous relationship with, whether it be me recruiting them or them being committed to the school that I was going in and out of or something like that. So it's going to be fun.
Coach Hiller, Sammy Jacobs from Hoosier Huddle. What do you want in your alignment here? Now, you had a good tradition of offensive linemen. What are you looking for in the players you have here and the players you're going to recruit in the future?
Well, number one, we've got to have a group of guys that that will come together and play as a unit and play together. I'm gonna be under the deal with the offensive line that we're the engine of the car, and it doesn't. Nick talked about the quarterbacks, and we can talk about the quarterbacks and the receivers and the running backs and the tight ends, but the car is not going to move without the engine, and the offensive line's got to be the engine. But nastiness, some physicality in that group has got to be important, of utmost importance. And then athletic ability, some guys that can get out and do some things in space and that can bend.
Yes.
Stand by sides with Hoosier.com. Just you've obviously been around Mike's board for
Yes.
a long time. Who else have you kind of leaned on, I guess, when you're learning either as a GA or
Sure.
in times before, after
Sure. Well, I'll just mention this. When I was a young coach getting in, certainly my dad's a football coach, and I've leaned on him in all walks of life, and I've been very blessed and fortunate to have a great relationship with my father. And so above anybody else, certainly just from a coaching standpoint, I've leaned on him and his experiences, like I said, in all walks of life. But when I was a young coach, one of my college coaches is a guy named Lloyd Carr. I'm sure you're familiar with him. And he told me the knowledge is out there. You just have to go get it and go ask for it. So that's something that always stuck with me. And I try on a yearly basis to reach out to people that I think are doing it well. And I try to find out how they're doing it. So, I'd rather not. I've been fortunate and blessed to work for and with a lot of great coaches. And I'm appreciative of all the things that they have taught me and have continued to teach me. But I try to go out and seek the knowledge. I find out who's doing it the best, and I try to ask them questions to try to help our players, because ultimately that's our job as coaches, to try to best prepare the players to play well. And so I don't know if that beats around the question, but there's been a lot of coaches that I'm very thankful for, and I know they know who they are, and I'm appreciative to them.
Nick, have you had a chance to start working with the players? I know you can't actually practice
Sure.
with them yet, but at least in terms of talking to them and
Yes.
in the weight room.
Yeah, I've met with all the quarterbacks, and it's exciting. They're getting to know me, and I'm getting to know them, and they all want to do well. And I think that's certainly a foundation for improvement. And that's the message I've sent to them, is we're just looking to get better each and every day, and in whatever aspect that might be, fundamentally, from a leadership standpoint, from a knowledge of the game, whatever it might be, we're just looking to improve. And we want to be a group that continues to improve each and every day. And the attitude's been great. And I've been excited. I don't know them that well. I've met with them. My wife was in town this weekend. We drove around and said hello to each and every one of them. So we're trying to catch up the best we can and developing the relationship with the kids. And that's the most exciting part. I enjoy people. I enjoy getting to know people's stories. And that's been a lot of fun for me.
Nick,
Yes.
turnovers from the quarterback position have been a big concern last year. How do you foresee, taking
Yeah, it's the most important piece of playing football. And as a quarterback position, we're the caretaker of the ball for the entire team and the entire university, the entire state. So that's something we emphasize each and every day. I think there's some things you can do schematically to try to help the kid out, to put him in some better situations, so where he has outlets to get rid of the football, so where he doesn't feel like he's forcing the football down the field. But that's the number one deciding factor in winning and losing, and that has never changed and it never will. So certainly from a staff standpoint, that'll be definitely enforced and emphasized, particularly with our position, as it will be for all positions.
Coach Hiller, Ken Bykoff at Pete's.com. You had Dan Feeney, you had Jason Spriggs, a couple of All-American linemen here. The example that they've set for others, how important is that for the guys that are here and for you to walk into that knowing that there is a little bit of that kind of culture at that high level?
Yeah, that's always important. In every football program that I've ever coached in, the young offensive linemen always learn a lot from the older guys. So, having those two guys, from the last couple years here, set the example. And I would imagine, I don't know those guys, but I would imagine that they were, they set the example starting probably in the weight room, and then they took it to the field. And I don't know what their vocal leadership skills were and those things, but it's always good when young guys can see guys do it at a high level. And those guys obviously have proven themselves and done it at a high level. So I think that's, paramount to success.